Hello, welcome to this video. Today I'd like to discuss getting started with soloing or improvising over chord changes. Now, by that I do not mean let's bust out the fake book, and rip over giant steps at 280 beats per minute. Not going to happen, okay? So we're going to start at bare minimum, step one, even before step one, step zero. So let's get to it. So to get started soloing and improvising over chord changes, a lot of people think that means, like I mentioned in the intro there, some jazz standard with all these complex chords and key changes. No, that's not where I like to start, nor the 12-bar blues. What I would like to talk about is how to start, improvising over chord changes within one key. Keep it diatonic. Now, this lesson does assume that you have some basic music theory under your belt. What's a major scale? Where does it come from? What chords are in the major scale? Okay, as well as what note names are on the fretboard. Those pieces of information are going to be essential. So with this example, as I mentioned, we're just going to keep it diatonic. We're going to go E minor, C major, G major, to D major. Okay, so when it comes to soloing over changes, I think a common thing to do, which is what I used to do anyway, is I'd look at the chord progression and go, what scale can I play over this whole thing, right? So I didn't have to think too much. But that's just it. What I'd like to share with you is just how to switch your thinking from what scale can I play over all these chords to what's in each of these chords, right? E minor, its own little chordal world. C major, its own world, and so even though E minor, C major, G major, D major all come from the key of G, what we want to do is we want to shift our thinking and go, what notes are in those chords, and use them as target tones or target notes. For example, in the chord of E minor, right, again assuming you have that basic music theory under your belt, it's a E, G, and B note. That's what makes up that chord. So if I'm using just the basic, box shape G major, okay, I can target notes for each of these chords. So when that E minor is playing, maybe I'll play that B note, right, which is of course in there. Then the chord changes to C. I can move up half step to the C note, the root of the chord, right? The next chord is G. Well, a G chord is G, B, and D, so I'm on that C. I can go back to the B, which I also played over that E minor chord. Okay, then it goes to D major, right? I'm on that B. I can just go down to A, right? Because A is in the D chord. So over E minor, C major, G major, D major, I might go. Right? So I'm just targeting notes of the chord. Now it can be applied to scale runs. The E minor, I might go, there we go, there's that B note, C major chord coming up. There we go. We know the G major's next. I'm targeting that B note again. D's coming up. Oh, I went to the F sharp, which is also in that D chord. Right? So it's just a shift of thinking. Now, you don't want to overthink while you're improvising either, but you want it to be more natural, but at first you're going to have to think, kind of analyze it a bit, during your practice sessions. And that's kind of how you want to do it. You don't even have to start with 4 chords. Start with 2. Start with G major to C major. Record yourself playing those chord changes, for a few minutes, and practice targeting notes of the chord. So yes, you are in the key of G. You're just using one scale, but what you're doing is you're kind of separating the two chords in your mind. What can I do over G? What can I do over C? Treat them, as I mentioned before, as their own little harmonic universe. Then you can start experimenting, changing keys. If I'm on G, right, to C, then I go down to B flat major. Okay, and so what can I do over G? What can I do over C? What can I do over B flat? Now I'm not going to get into all the choices of arpeggios and scales on, because the purpose of this lesson was how to get started with that diatonically within one key. Even though I could have ripped over the whole thing, with the G scale, we were targeting notes of the actual chords. And so what I did, I recorded myself jamming on E minor, C, G, D, just to give you an example, very simplified example of these concepts of targeting notes. Check it out. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out this video on how to solo over chord changes. Hopefully if you are just starting out with this, it kind of gets you going that way. Get the brain thinking a bit different, rather than what scale can I play over the whole thing to what can I do over each of these chords. We'll see you next time.